Oh
and
my
we can
God,
talk
get the
about
hell out of here,
we can
dude.
talk about Rodgers.
Get the hell out of here.
Okay, what is the need to bring up the Yankees?
It's just stuff to bring up. Are you kidding me? Come on, dude. This came out of nowhere.
Not. Clemson is a top team. Don't start with that. Clemson's a top team, no doubt. 100%.
Unless they're on Saturday. Then they might move down.
Welcome back. We have another episode of Go Chat planned today. We are on episode 80 right now. We're going to hop in to, of course, our first and favorite segment, the GOAT of the number. Tommy, you're up first. Who do you got? Please tell me you're going to pick the right person. There really is only one answer. Matt and Connor, they already discussed this. And Tommy, listen, the world's weight is on your shoulders, so just give it to us.
Well, of course, I'm going to go with the right answer. It's Ryan Eads of the Baltimore Orioles. He's only worn the number 80 for 8 games. He's only one of 2 players to wear the number 8. No, I got to go with Jerry Rice today. Of course, that's the obvious pick. But I'm sure that everyone else will give the rest of the stats. But of course, he's a Hall of Famer, 13-time Pro Bowler, 10-time All-Pro. Everybody knows Jerry Rice, even I do, and I'm not a big football guy. Put together a tremendous career, and got to go with him today.
I think I gave myself a concussion.
You just hit yourself so hard.
Wait, what happened? I didn't even see it.
So when you said you were going for that Orioles dude, I hit myself in the head pretty hard.
Oh, no. Don't do that, man, King.
All right. Matt, who do you got?
It's Jerry Rice. He's the best wide receiver probably that ever played in the NFL. Of course, there's guys like
Randy
of course,
Moss.
there's guys. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that we could talk about. Randy Moss. Even Megatron, his performance that he's played throughout that short career. But Jerry Rice, at the end of the day, in my opinion, is the greatest wide receiver to ever play over there in San Francisco for a franchise like that. Catching the ball for Joe Montana, it was just the best duo back in the day. So it's got to be Jerry Rice, the obvious answer.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Connor. You make it unanimous?
Yeah, I just keep laughing because I'm hearing Matt hit himself in the head just over and over. It was so loud. Tommy, I mean,
I didn't
Tommy,
even see it.
What are you doing to Matt here? No,
I
it's got to
know.
be. It's got to be Jerry Rice. And I mean, I'll give some of the stats here. He's a Hall of Famer, 13-time Pro Bowler, 10-time All-Pro. He's won 3 Super Bowls. He's on the Hall of Fame all 1980s and 1990s team. He was the Offensive Player of the Year in 1987. He was the Bart Bell Award winner in 1987, and he was the 1993 AP Offensive Player of the Year. Just an absolute, best wide receiver of all time. None of us really had the ability to be able to watch him play. Obviously, we can go back and look at the highlights of him and Joe Montana together during their Super Bowl runs. But definitely a freak of nature out there wearing the number 80. So it's got to be Jerry Rice.
Yeah. Once again, I'm with you guys on that one. Best wide receiver of all time. Not like the fastest guy or anything. Not like the most
talented.
Dominate, right? But just fantastic route runner. Could do anything you want from the wide receiver position. Just the nuance of the game. He was just so keen in that aspect. And but to be fair, there are a bunch of other great number 80 receiving targets, like Steve Largent for the Seahawks, Chris Carter for the Vikings, both 2 really good wide receivers. They're Hall of Fame wide receivers. And then just
Wayne Corbett for the Jets. He was Wes Welker before Wes Welker was in the league.
Okay. Kellen Winslow.
Kellen Winslow. Yep.
For a bit. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up.
Donald Driver.
Donald Driver. Oh my gosh, I remember putting him on my fantasy team. He was the number 2 in Green Bay for quite some time.
Yeah, I have a fat head of his in my room. Very small fat head, but still.
All right. Well, thank you, Tommy, for picking the right guy. I was really nervous for a second. Matt, hopefully you're okay and you're gonna heal. But we are gonna swing it right into our next segment right now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Goat Chat. Baseball is finally back. We had opening day just a few days ago on Thursday. Great to see teams back in action, lots of great moments. And we just want to kind of give an overview, our favorite moment of opening day. And there certainly were plenty of exciting games and individual moments. So I'm going to start with you, Connor. What was your favorite moment from opening day?
So I have a couple that were in game moments, but I just think the biggest thing was being able to see teams out on the field and in their own stadiums and having fans there. They're not having to plug stadium noise in. They're not having to have cardboard cutouts set up. There were people in the stands, and we were able to hear the noise of a stadium and hear the boos when Carlos Correa got hit by a pitch against the Athletics. We were able to hear that kind of stuff because that's what baseball is about. I mean, baseball, a lot of people may think, and Matt potentially included, that baseball is a boring sport. It doesn't have a lot of substance. It moves incredibly slow. But when and for last year, that may be partially acceptable because there was no fans there. But I think fans bring a different mentality to baseball than any other sport. And I think that was evident this opening weekend with just how excited everybody was that there was baseball being played in those home stadiums in their cities.
For sure. It was great to see fans back. And I'm sorry, Matt, what were you going to say?
I disagree. I think college basketball, the fans play the most, especially in March Madness. But go on.
College basketball, maybe March Madness. But
yeah,
overall.
I'm right.
No, I'd say football. Because you got to hear all the teams at the line of scrimmage.
We turned this conversation into something else. Tommy, go on.
No, I mean, I was just going to swing it over to one of you if you want to share your favorite part of opening day, Matt came. But
I mean, there was a lot of great moments in opening day. I didn't catch all the games like maybe Tommy did or Connor possibly. I did catch the ending to the Yankees game. What a great game. Toffman, made the best decision of his life towards the end of it. But the moment that I want to touch on, or the game
if you're gonna insult that someone, pronounce his name right. Pronounce his name right.
It's Talkman.
Hoffman's hot dogs. Okay. Anyways.
Those are great hot dogs. We should get them as a sponsor, but
we should, honestly.
Are we done with Poland Spring?
No, we're still trying. I got a bottle right here. Poland Spring.
Okay.
I
think we gotta make another advertisement for them. But anyways, go ahead, Matt.
Okay, back to one of the best games or moments of opening day. I'm going to swing it to the Diamondbacks and Padres game where we saw four home runs, in one inning. We saw Marte, Cabrera, Timmy LeCastro, Ithaca alum, and then Voit hit a home run, 2 on Darvish and 2 on Hill of the Padres. Diamondbacks didn't win that game, but still, when you're hitting 4 home runs, I will tune into that. You know, when I'm seeing these homers, you know, it's something good to see, especially when it's Timmy LeCastro from a former Bomber like that. But overall, tons of great games. Phillies got to win against the Braves. Nationals didn't play, unfortunately, but hopefully they're going to be playing this Monday, I think, against the Braves. You know, we saw a good game like the Royals Rangers 14-10 opening day too. So tons of good games that we saw yesterday and the day before that, technically, since you guys are watching this on Sunday. Baseball's back, people. Tune in if you want to watch a boring sport.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding?
Oh my God.
It's the greatest sport ever created. I can't even describe to you how happy I was for Thursday. It was amazing.
I feel like my conversation about baseball was going up, and then I just took it. Right down.
You just took it all the way down. I was enjoying it, and then now you ruined it. But no, I'm just kidding. That was great. But Mike, what was your favorite moment? I know the Mets didn't play, but
I know it's very upsetting that the Nationals had to screw the Mets over like that. Just doing what the Nationals do, just sucking. Besides,
wait, when was the last time the Mets won a World Series?
Well,
they were in 2015.
Were you about to say when was the last time the Nationals won a World Series?
No, I was going to say when was the last time the Mets had a game canceled because their team got COVID last season. The Nationals are the only team to do this so far.
You can't blame them because
they are very, very stinky. Okay,
you're sounding a lot like Dabo Sweetie.
Hold on, let me go. Then we can talk about the how bad the Nationals are. Okay, so
Sounds like Dabo.
Hold on. Obviously there were a bunch of fantastic moments on opening day. Baseball's back, and me, Tommy, and Connor, we're all happy for that. Matt, not so much, but
Yeah.
I think Matt's a little happy, just doesn't want to admit how much he likes the sport. But
I think
He
you're right.
tuned in. He tuned into the Yankees game, and you know what? Even if he's cheering against the Yankees, he's watching. So that means he enjoys it.
that's
There you
right.
go. There you go. He enjoys it in a different way. Anyways, if I got to pick one moment out on opening day, has to be Cabrian Hayes hitting a home run. He's still technically a rookie, even though he had 85 at bats last year, and he played fantastic last year as well. But he really started off with an explosion with fireworks, and he just played a great game as the Pirates won that game. I don't know if Kevin Newman played. Tommy, I'm sorry he didn't win Go of the Week. He should have over
Thank you.
Pat Riley. But
I agree.
anyways, Cabrian Hayes, and then I'm moving over to Friday. I think Trevor Bauer had a no hitter going through 6 innings, and then he goes out for the 7th and just completely gets shelled. It gives up like 2 home runs, so that definitely has to be another one of my favorite moments. And then the cat running out on Coors Field, staying with that game. I know you guys don't like cats, but I have a soft spot in my heart for cats. I have my cat Luca. He's adorable. I don't know why you guys hate cats so much. That cat that ran out, he was a cutie. But those have to be my favorite moments.
Did you name your cat after Luka Doncic?
No, it's
No,
LUC.
different conversation. Tommy, what was your favorite
LUC
moment
day.
from opening day?
Well, there were so many great moments. Like you said, Connor, I think that having fans back in the stands, that was the big thing. Great to see the ballparks alive again. And, even though it's a limited capacity, they're hoping to open up the stadiums more as the season goes on. But, personally for the Yankees, well, and I'm going to talk about some moments that we're going to talk about later. But seeing Gary Sanchez homer, that was probably my favorite moment. Great for him to, get off to a good start, and he had some good plays in the field as well. So that was nice to see. And Trey Mancini coming back, I thought that was tremendous as well to see him back on the field. And in terms of, more on the field stuff, that Mariners Giants game, I don't know if you guys got to see it, but what a game that was. The Mariners were down 5-0 and then 6-1 at one point, and they come back and they win the game 8-7. And one thing about that, and it happened in the Yankee game as well, is that both of those games went to extra innings. And if we want to get a little bit of a debate going here, I cannot stand the extra inning rule where you
I
put
hate
a
it.
guy on second base.
I hate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. What do you think, Connor? I think it's awful. It's not baseball
think-
in any way, but
I think it is the stupidest thing that could be implemented into a game. It takes all like the different strategy of an extra inning game and everything out of it, because you're
Mhm.
automatically putting a runner in scoring position. If you give up a single in a normal extra inning game, that's a guy on first. You give up a single now, that's a run scoring.
that's right.
I
will
think
say,
it is so stupid.
I will say, as a person who's not like a huge baseball fan, it makes it so much more interesting for me.
And
That's the thing, because it's probably going to bring in some more people that way. Because I don't know, I feel like it's a way to make the extra innings more interesting. That's also why I was excited to watch the Yankees extra innings. Well, not excited. Come on.
More intrigued.
Yeah.
But
But-
Matt, I think that's a great point, because that's exactly why they're doing it, to attract fans that wouldn't be interested otherwise, and those that might, turn off the game after the 9th inning because they don't want to go through all those extra innings. But I mean, I guess that's the price that they pay for the diehard baseball fans like me and Connor, because we can't stand it. But for, fans that aren't as interested, I guess it does attract more fans. But no, I agree. And the Yankee game is a perfect example of it, because give up the leadoff double to, I forget who hit it.
Lourdes Gurriel hit it.
Okay, so you give up that leadoff double, the run scores, it's 3-2, right? Nick Nelson, he strikes out the side after that. So, I mean, that double would have meant nothing. And that's what bothers me. And, on the other side of the coin, the Yankees did get that opportunity. They did have a runner on second base. So, I mean, it's tough to say that it's not fair, but it's not fair to pitchers. I mean, what did Nick Nelson do wrong? He gave up a double to the first batter of the season. Obviously, there's some jitters there. And, he was able to settle down and, it wouldn't have meant anything in a regular game, regular inning, excuse me. But I don't know. It's just frustrating, but we'll see what happens with the new CBA. That's going to be a topic of discussion for sure. But yeah, definitely disappointing.
I mean, Merriweather pitched really well for the
He
Blue
did.
Jays. In the same case scenario as Nelson.
In the same situation, he did. No, Tommy, I would have to agree with you. It definitely just brings a weird sense to even like the pitchers go out there, they have a game plan. They know what they want to throw. And when there's a runner in scoring position, that game plan changes. If I'm going in and I'm pitching in the 8th inning with no runners on base, my game plan is completely different. I'm hammering that fastball first pitch. Where now if I'm in the 10th inning and I have a guy on second base, they're going to be expecting a fastball. So now I have to adjust to that because they're going to be looking for the fastball to put it in play to then score that run. It's a different game plan for these pitchers, and it's like you said, it's unfair to the pitchers. But it's given to both teams, so there's that sense there. Tommy, you stole my moment here. I was going to talk about the Mariners comeback here. It was a great game, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Really good game, and then they walked it off in the 10th inning with a walk. I mean, unbelievable. The first home run of the season had to be one of my top moments, and could be a picture that we see hanging up in Cooperstown, in the Hall of Fame in the near future. Is Miguel Cabrera hitting a home run when it's snowing? When it's snowing, it was unbelievable. First home run of the year there. And Tommy, you mentioned Gary Sanchez. Gary Sanchez played really well. I was surprised. He came in with a lot of heart. First pitch he saw, he hit a home run. Was able to gun a runner down at second, beat out an infield single. So, he played a good game. I'm intrigued to see if that level of play can continue from him, because I think Gary Sanchez he's fighting for a deal right now. He's fighting for a spot on the Yankees.
I agree. And personally, how I see it, and you can let me know what you think, Connor, I think this is his last chance with the Yankees. I think if he has a bad year, Brian Cashman has no choice but to trade him or, look at other options, because they've given Gary every opportunity. And we all have seen it 2016, 2017. He has all the talent in the world. And like you said, I think he works incredibly hard. I think that he's criticized a lot for not giving as much effort as people think he should. And I think he does. I just think it hasn't worked out the past couple of years. And like you said, great to see it pay off on opening day, and definitely hope it continues.
Yeah. One last thing on your point there, and then we can move on. I feel like Mike has something to say. He hasn't talked in a while. Was just that the Yankees, they went and they drafted a catcher this past draft. So I think that could be something. Mike, did you not have something to say? It feels like you're raising your hand over there.
No, I'm trying to block this on because it looks better. It looks no. I do have something to say, but you literally just said I think Mike has something to say. Then continue to talk. But anyways, yeah.
Because I said I had one more.
Go on.
No. Okay, I'll talk. But I just want to go back to the 9th inning rule. I absolutely despise it. It's horrendous. I understand it makes the game more interesting, right? But I feel like that moment just becomes like so normal, right? When you have it every single extra inning game, right? Instead of it's nearly impossible to get those like late inning, 12th, 15th inning, really, battle tested pitching war, like back and forth, right? Where you're going to like your last couple of relievers in your bullpen, maybe even to the point where you have to throw a position player in there. And that's obviously it drags on a while, but it's still pretty interesting. I'm really thinking it's going to last for a while. Obviously it brings more fans like Matt in, but I just don't like it for the game of baseball. If they had in the playoffs, I might just like stop being an MLB fan. So thank God that didn't happen. And going back to what Connor said, the first home run, MLB posted a really cool video on TikTok. It was like this cinematic, like little like piece of Miggy hitting that home run. It was awesome. So go check that out if you haven't. It was pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
Yeah, I just think one final thing that I have to say on the MLB in general, and there doesn't really have to be any discussion on this because there are a lot of mixed views about it, but they decided to pull the All-Star game out of Atlanta yesterday after Georgia implemented different voting laws there. So, it's good to see the MLB making a stand towards that. And that's all we really have to say. There doesn't have to be any real political discussion because we're here to talk sports. But it's news, and I feel like it has to be something that's talked about.
Yeah, with you on that. So I think that kind of wraps up our little opening day discussion. There it was some other MLB news. The Mets and Steve Cohen inked Francisco Lindor 10 years, 341 million, 1 million more than Tatis and what he got in his deal. A little jab there at Fernando. But what do we think about the deal? What impact is this going to have on the Mets over the past 10 years? Will they win a championship? All that exciting stuff for the Mets. Connor, I'll swing it to you first. I know you're a big fan of Lindor and what the Mets have going right now.
So there's a lot of questions there that I don't know if we can answer right now about winning a ring or future success. I think the biggest thing is this deal had to be done before they played a game, and the Mets did a good job at doing that because even if they had played on Thursday, which unfortunately again they couldn't due to the COVID cases in Washington, but if they didn't, then once you get into that regular season grind and you're on the road most days or you're playing most days, it's going to be hard to have those contract negotiations throughout the season. And it's gonna put a little bind in between the team because the team's gonna be thinking, oh, Francisco's just asking for the money. He doesn't want to be here. He just wants the money. Yeah, stuff like that. So Steve Cohen did a really good job of getting that deal done before they played a game. And Francisco Lindor is a Met for life. I think he can do incredibly successful things with the Mets. A ring and a World Series championship could definitely be in the future with him and Pete Alonso, and a whole cast around them. Great pitching. It's got to happen soon. I don't think this is something where it's towards the end of his contract when they get the ring. They're in a position now within these next couple years to get it, and with the Dodgers still being at the top of their game, they got to be at the top of their game within these next couple years if they want that
ring. Tommy, what do you think?
Yeah, well, my view on it is that this deal needed to be done in order for the trade to be worth it. Because if you don't extend him long term and you get him just for a year, it's not really worth it unless they were to win this year, which they certainly could. I think that they certainly have the opportunity to do so. But at the same time, I think that in the National League, you're going to see the Dodgers or the Padres in the World Series. That's my personal view. And I don't want to discredit any other teams because I think that the Braves are right up there as well, and they could easily win the NL East. But, I think this is a great move for the Mets. Like you said, one of the most dynamic players in the game. I mean, it's the clear move. They had to do it. And I think it's great for the Mets. I think it's great, for Steve Cohen. His first big move shows that he's committed long-term, which we all knew anyway. But, yeah, I mean, I like the move for the Mets for sure.
Steve Cohen's first big move was bringing back the black jerseys. We can all agree on that.
Hey, there we go.
We love the black jerseys. I'm very excited for the Friday Night Blackout. But anyways, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, like Tommy said, this deal needed to be done to make the trade worth it, and I think that it was a move in the right direction. As for the future and World Series, it's going to depend on the people besides Lindor. Obviously one man can't carry a whole baseball team, even if Lindor is that great. We see it with Mike Trout, the best baseball player. The Angels haven't been close to a World Series. So it's going to have to depend on the guys around Lindor. I think the Mets are a capable team to make it to the World Series. Just think they're going to have to do it sooner rather than later. Like Connor said.
Yeah, I agree with you guys on a lot of these points. And the thing about the deal is that Lindor set a hard deadline multiple times in the media, and I'm sure he did in private. That opening day, he's not going to talk any extension talks during the season. He said he's not afraid of free agency. And really, if they didn't get it done before opening day, there's going to be all that chatter through the season. Personally, as a Mets fan, I would be really upset about it. And that Lindor and the Mets weren't able to get a deal done. But I'm very happy it's done. It was an overpay, sure, right? But since when have the Mets ever overpaid someone during the Wilpons when they controlled the team. They always underpaid, their best players, and then they overpaid for scrubs. We got a bona fide 5-tool superstar player, right? In a very key position like shortstop. He can get for contact, power. His defense is fantastic. And then you just hear all the stuff about his intangibles in the locker room and his leadership. Pete Alonso said, pay him whatever he wants, give him $400 million because of the impact he creates through teaching, like guys like JD Davis, what angle should I come at from here? When the ball goes down the line, all that good stuff, all those leadership qualities Lindor has. So I think it's a fantastic deal for the Mets. And I think they have like 5 to 8 year window where they can really compete for a title. And fingers crossed that the Mets ain't gonna Met anymore, right? And really change the look, like the face of their organization, right? Mets like meme organization, right? Something like the Lions, right? They just always perform poorly. But I think Lindor is going to have an opportunity to really turn that around, and trading for him was step one. And now they have to, we talk all this stuff about the Mets, but they're actually going to have to perform on the field now, and they're going to have an opportunity to do that given how talented their team is.
We talked about Tommy last week and how he didn't breathe when he was talking about the Yankees. Mike just went on for like a solid 3 minutes. I mean, I was zoned out here for probably 35 seconds of it. I mean, man,
I'm excited. Lindor's a Met for life. I mean, it's been a long time since the Mets have had someone of his caliber. We had David Wright for a little, but by the end of his career, and as I got older and remembered more, he suffered a lot of injuries. But I'm so excited to see what this Mets team has to put on the field this year and hopefully compete for a title.
Well, hey, I think that's all for baseball talk. March Madness is still going on. The final 4 games are being played on Saturday when we're filming this. So unfortunately, when you're watching this, you already know. We don't. We'll break those down for you really fast. We'll give you guys our projected winners out of these final 4 teams, and then we're going to be moving into our go to the week to end the episode. We'll be right back with that segment next.
Welcome back to GOAT Chat. We are finally towards the end of March Madness. And like Connor said, we're filming on Saturday, so the final 4 games are tonight. So unfortunately, we don't know what happens. We always take a risk that way. Like Mike said, UConn was going to the final 4, and they lost that night. But the national championship is tomorrow on Monday. Who do we think is going to win the national championship? I'm going to start. I think it's going to be Gonzaga. I've been saying Gonzaga this whole time. I think it's about time Gonzaga wins finally. Mark Few can get that national championship. He's been to the Final Four twice, including this time, and last time he unfortunately didn't get it. The trio that they have is the best in the nation: Kispert, Timmy, and Suggs. Suggs is an incredible freshman. They play basketball so well. I don't see them losing. If they lose, it would be to Baylor. So I got Baylor-Gonzaga meeting, and I got Gonzaga trumping Baylor. Connor, where's Michigan? Where is Michigan?
Okay, so Michigan lost. Michigan did lose. They lost. Okay, I understand that. And there's these 4 teams left in UCLA. UCLA is the Cinderella story. I mean, by far, they were in the first 4. Now they're in the Final 4. They've been playing great team basketball. Houston is a 2 seed. And even Baylor being a 1 seed. Gonzaga is just they're above all these teams, and even with Baylor being that other 1 seed, they are significantly better. And there's this stat going around that there hasn't been an undefeated NCAA basketball team since the late 1970s. I mean, pretty soon that stat is going to be there hasn't been a undefeated NCAA basketball team since this past season, because Gonzaga is going to win this whole thing. And I mean, to be able to finish, what are they going to finish? 31-0, 32-0. I mean, impressive. Matt said that they have the best big 3 in the nation. It's got to be Gonzaga. I
mean, going back to when Michigan lose, Connor texted us, Gonzaga is going to win it all. And I said, you're just figuring that out. Listen, I love when people come out and say like, oh, they're undefeated, so they're not going to win, because that stuff that's not how sports work. I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, people are like, oh, they're not going to make the Super Bowl because no team has ever hosted a Super Bowl and made it. And look what they did. So I hate and love when people say that, because I think it's just so funny when it happens. But Connor, thank you for finally realizing that Michigan was the
No.
wrong team.
It's not like I just realized that. Like I have brackets with Gonzaga winning.
Sure, but
It just my intention was
I
the fact
also
that
told you
I
that
believe
there's no such thing as 3-1s making it to the Final Four. I gave you that
there's
warning.
there's 4-1s in the Final Four right now.
All right, Mike. It's because 11, Mike. 11. So
Oh.
yeah.
You had me. Anyways, yeah, Gonzaga's gonna win it all. I'd be shocked if they didn't. Watch, we're all projecting them to win it now.
I know.
He's gonna go out and beat them tonight. But yeah, I had them winning it from the beginning. I understand, the whole undefeated thing. It's very tough to go a whole season undefeated. It's obviously unlikely, but this team is just so uber talented from top to bottom. They have that star power with Timmy Suggs and I'm sorry, I forgot the others. Yeah, him. And then they also have depth on their bench. They can really roll out whatever kind of lineup they want and really compete with you toe to toe. And most likely they're going to take that step above you and defeat you. But with who Gonzaga is going to meet, I really like both Baylor and Houston. Houston is a fantastic team, so and so is Baylor with Davion Mitchell and that squad. But I just like Houston this matchup. I think it's going to be a close game, but it's tough to see 2-1 seeds in the finals matchup. I know, Baylor could be the better team, but I just have a feeling that Houston's going to get the better of Baylor. They're really talented. I think it's going to be Houston-Gonzaga matchup, and Gonzaga's going to come out on top.
Yeah, Tommy, be different. Tommy, don't go Gonzaga. Don't go Gonzaga. Be different. This doesn't count for anything.
I got to go with Gonzaga here. I think that they are going to win the whole thing. So they're my pick to win the whole thing, and I certainly obviously have them being UCLA in this game in the Final Four tonight. And then, the Baylor-Houston game is interesting. I mean, got to see him last week.
It's very intriguing.
Yeah, no, for sure. Got to see him play last week, obviously, against Syracuse. And, I mean, I think it's going to be Baylor, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was Houston.
Sorry for interrupting you, Tommy.
No, you're good. I'm sorry.
No.
One big thing. Sorry.
I just want to talk on it. All right. That game is really intriguing, and that's because of Houston's defense. Houston's definitely the best defensive team. Actually, maybe Gonzaga. It's definitely either Baylor or Gonzaga, the best defensive team in the Final Four so far. And you saw how they locked up star players like Ethan Thompson and Buddy Boeheim in their past 2 games. So really going to be a great game. Connor, you could go back. You could talk.
The one thing that I was just going to say is it's great to see a team like Houston in there that's not from one of the Power 5 schools. I mean, they're coming in from the American Conference and really representing well. I mean, the Pac-12 really they have had so much success in the tournament this year, but it's good to see Houston coming out of the American Conference able to make it in the Final Four and even potentially into a national championship game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Gonzaga, they beat the Gonzaga USC game was pretty wild too. I don't know if you caught it, but Gonzaga had like a huge lead on USC, and we know USC was that team that was dominating throughout the whole tournament, killing Kansas and Oregon. So that was a really good game. It's going to be a good Final Four. I'm excited to watch tonight, and then sit down and watch Monday night after ICTV's Hold That Thought. But no, it's going to be a great national championship. I can't wait.
So Tommy, question for you.
Yeah.
Are you watching baseball tonight, or are you watching March Madness basketball tonight?
It's not even a question. Let me tell you, I have been a Syracuse fan for so long. If Syracuse was in it, I'm not as loyal to the point where I would. Long story short, I would watch the Yankees over Syracuse probably.
The Final Four?
The Final
Our Yankees second game of their season versus Syracuse Final Four. You would watch Yankees second game of their season.
Well, I'd probably have it on back and forth, but the Yankee game would be the majority of the night. I'd probably have like the Syracuse game on my phone and then the Yankee game on the TV. But
There we go.
I guess
There we
that
go.
works for me.
Great conversations here. We're not gonna have a GOAT picks segment. We are gonna have a graphic up because we are picking the games, the final 4 games. So yeah,
Wait.
Mike's inserting a crown on his head.
We got to give Mike some time to talk, though. Speech.
I will give Mike some time
Mike-
to talk, but I just
Mike
have
did
to say
win.
we're picking the 2 final 4 games, and then we are also picking 2 baseball games. I just have to give them the lowdown. Then you get your chance, Mike. Okay, give me a second. Okay. All right, now it's your turn.
Thank you for that introduction, Connor. Yes, I did win Go Picks. I did not choke this time. For all you fans out there who wanted me to choke, I don't appreciate it. For all of those that have supported me this whole time, I truly appreciate it. And I'm very happy that I'm the king of GOAT Picks and my rightful place. And we're going 2 in a row this time. I'm going to pull a Matt with a Buddy Boeheim. I'm calling it right now. 3 GOAT Pick seasons in a row.
All right.
Crown me.
All right. Well, time will tell. Like Connor said, skip and go picks. We will have a graphic on the Instagram, but we're going to move into the GOAT of the week coming up next. Welcome back to Go Chat. We are finally at the GOAT of the week, finishing up the episode. Last week, another overtime, 3rd overtime in Go Chat history. Connor ended up defeating Tommy. Wasn't that the first? Yeah, first time
Yeah.
Connor ended up defeating Tommy. So
I was excited.
Connor's getting by the slimmest wins.
By the slimmest wins. I mean, in the overtime, I outvoted him by 10 votes, and he voted for himself, so we could count that as 11 votes.
All right. Well, you still had to go in overtime. That's why it's slim. But Connor, you won, so might as well give us your GOAT of the week this week.
Yeah, so I mean, Tommy mentioned him earlier in the opening opening day best moment. I have to go with Trey Mancini here. Anyone who doesn't know, he did not play in the 60-game season last season due to a battle with cancer, and he's on the Orioles. He was able to come back out and play on opening day, Thursday. Nope, they played on Friday against Boston. So it was great to see him out in the field. And he posted on his Instagram, and I just want to read what he wrote. During a battle with cancer, there are going to be good days and there's going to be bad days. However, the motivation to fight it and face it head on will never waver if you are surrounded by an incredible support system. Thank you to my amazing girlfriend, family, friends, and all of you. Today was made possible. Here's to no longer looking back, but instead looking forward to the future. He can be an inspiration to so many different people. I mean, cancer fighters, cancer survivors, families, even children who aspire to play the game of baseball, to just keep your head down, keep fighting through everything, and God is good, and he will help you through whatever you need to get through. So I mean, for this reason, I have to go with Trey Mancini, true inspiration to the sport of baseball and to many others.
Great pick. Connor, wouldn't it be keep your head up, not down?
No, keep your head down, keep fighting.
Oh, okay. Tommy, who was your pick?
Yeah, well, Trey Mancini, I think, is a great pick. I think you should vote for him rather than my guy. But I'm going to go with Gary Sanchez. And this is a risky pick anytime you pick Gary, because this is for his performance Thursday. We're recording this before the game Saturday, and then there's the game Sunday. So there's a lot of room for error by the time that you're going to be voting for this. And I acknowledge that. But on opening day, he was great. He went 2 for 3, like I said, hit the Yankees' first home run of the year. And he threw out a runner at second, beat out an infield single. He really played really well. So, props to Gary for getting off to a good start. And let's hope he keeps it going. But yeah, Gary Sanchez is my GOAT of the week.
Mike?
Obviously Trey Mancini, fantastic pick there, Connor. Really love his battle with cancer and all that stuff. And then Tommy, you're walking on eggshells over there with picking Gary, but I have to go with Steve Cohen, Uncle Steve. He inked Lindor, huge contract, finally bringing out the pocketbooks, and also he's bringing the black jerseys back. Obviously, 2 of the best things in the whole wide world happening the same day practically. I mean, he's one of the best owners in all of sports. I'm so happy that the Mets got him. And you just got to vote for Steve Cohen, one of the best owners. Go ahead, Connor.
Go ahead.
So at the beginning of the episode, we were talking about the go to the week, or this might have even been off segment or off air. Mike said that Kevin Newman should have won because Pat Riley really didn't do anything. But now he's picking Steve Cohen because Steve Cohen made a move. But Pat Riley wasn't good enough because
I think
Pat
what
Riley
Kevin
made-
Newman did during spring
Okay,
training was more
okay.
impressive than what Pat Riley
Sure.
did.
But what's the difference between what Steve Cohen did and what Pat Riley did?
I mean, I think the Lindor contract was more important than getting someone who shoots 40% from the field. I understand it was a great trade and everything, but I think inking Lindor for 10 years, he's a Met for life, one of the best players in baseball. I think that's more impressive than Pat Riley. I'm not trying to downplay what Pat Riley
Well,
did.
I won go to the week last week, and you're not going to win this week, so that's just going to be the difference. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, you're right on that because I'm gonna win. You guys all had great picks. Tommy, I mean, yeah, you had a good pick because I kind of gave that to you anyway.
What do you mean you gave it to me? I was gonna go with him anyway. You probably didn't even know he hit a home run until they said it. Connor sent it in the chat.
No, I think my friend texted me actually. But.
Yeah, and then you claimed it, and you're like $5 for whoever watched Gary Sanchez.
Hey, I didn't make you pay me $5. It's just $1 if you win the go of the week. Anyway,
Oh my God.
for my pick, I'm gonna go with Roy Williams. If you guys didn't know, he actually retired on Thursday. Some people saw it as April Fool's joke. Seemed a little too serious for me, and it ended up not being an April Fool's joke. We don't see fantastic college basketball coaches all the time. I mean, looking at his career, he has 903 wins, coaching for Kansas and North Carolina. Shout out 2003 when he lost with Kansas against Syracuse in that final game. But you look at the championships he did win in 2005, 2009, 2017. Been to the Final Four 9 times, and he's nowhere close to the greatest coaches in college basketball history, and Coach K, Jim Boeheim, and John Wooden, but he is definitely down there, definitely in the running towards the mid section for one of the greatest coaches. Just I can't say any more about him. It's just an absolute fantastic coach. And going back to Kansas, Bill Self actually even got a lifetime contract coaching Kansas, so that's pretty cool for him.
I did see that.
But go of the week, Roy Williams.
Hey, it's been a great episode. I'm not gonna sit here and throw any jabs out. Everyone had a really good go of the week.
You already did.
Well, yeah. Well, just at Mike, because if you guys let me talk, I was gonna say everyone had a good go of the week, maybe except for Mike. Gary Sanchez. You know what, Tommy? You're probably going to win because Gary Sanchez is going to have an absolutely fantastic game on Saturday, and then he's going to have a great game on Sunday.
You guys realize I'm going to win.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Cain wins either way with that. Like, if he wins, then he wins, the point. But then if I win, he gets $1. So, like, he's got rooting interest there. But
well, I think it's been a great episode. It's been a little discombobulated here. There's been different side conversations. We had Matt started the episode with hitting himself in the head quite hard. It's been a really great, fun episode. As always, happy to sit here and talk sports with the guys. And until next week, we'll be back with Go Chat.